Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here to attend this workshop. So this workshop will be hosted by Diti Soni, who is the Senior Consultant for Communications and Outreach at the Bharati Institute of Public Policy in the Indian School of Business. So she and her team have over the past year conducted over 150 workshops to help reporters and journalists better understand the India data portal and the kind of data that's curated there and what kind of stories that we can do from there. So this is the first time they partnered with 101 reporters, and we hope to do more such workshops for more of our reporters, especially in regional languages. So yeah, without further ado, I'll pass the mic to Deepti.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks, Asarya, for introducing me and the organization. So, can I say how delighted I am to be associated with 101 reporters, and you guys come from across all over India. So, it's really a pleasure that we are getting this chance to sort of speak to you in terms of how we can collaborate further. The idea of the India data portal is really to help journalists, especially like yourselves, with all your data and visualization needs. So this is the live site of indiadataportal.com. And all you need to do in Google, you can just type India Data Portal. So here you can see www.indiadataportal.com appears. So you can just do sign up for free here. And because I'm already signed up, so I will just log in. And the reason why we ask you to do a sign up is so that you can personalize India Data Portal. Presently, India Data Portal is available in 6 Indian languages: Bengali, English, Hindi, Marathi. Let's say if I clicked on any language, let's say Hindi, for example, you see the portal changes completely into Hindi. This is the homepage of India Data Portal. So let me talk to you about the different sections here. So the first section is about a section, which is about India Data Portal, about the team, about media mentions, which we have got. Then we have our bread and butter section, which is the data set section. Now here you can see that we have divided the data sets under different subheads, as I was showing you in the PowerPoint presentation. So we have food and agriculture sector, economy, financial inclusion, government schemes, union budget, rural development, general category, NSSO data set, socioeconomic data set where you will have census data, you will have Mission Antodaya data sets. We have the elections data, and we also have the health data, which is NFHS data, which is National Family Health. And you can click on any of the data sets. I mean, all will have the same kind of features. Then the next section is visualize. Let's say you are now quite familiar with India Data Portal and you straight away go to visualize data set, or you can also compare different kind of data sets who have similar kind of parameters. And then we have the news and graphics section, training section, and self-paced introductory course section, which I will detail towards the end. Now here you see that we have given a lot of prominence to the search and visualize of data. Now India Data Portal has a very, very intuitive search bar. I want to know about females in India. So I just type female and you see it gives me a lot of search options. So for example, it tells me that female related information is available in agriculture wages. And what is available? Average monthly wages in rupees. Or for example, female related information is available in household consumption on education, which is an SSO data set, National Sample Survey Office data set. And what is available? Literacy rate for persons 7 years and above. Let's say I want to refine my search further and I say female headed. So the moment I say female headed, you would see that the information is available in socioeconomic caste census. And what is available? Total number of households. Or female headed information is available in socioeconomic caste census data set. And what is available? Households living in one room with kacha walls and kacha roof. So, it's a long list. And if I showed you what by example, if I, let's say, clicked on the first one, you will say it has picked up female headed. It'll give me the total number of households. And this is from the socioeconomic caste census data set. And if I click here, you would see it has given me a visualization, which is a map of India, where there is a scale here. The redder it is, the lesser number of female headed households. The greener it is, the higher number of female headed households. And here you would see that Uttar Pradesh is the greenest with the highest number of female headed households. Now let me take you to the data set section. And what I want to show you is that what kind of information is available in each data set. So here you would see, and the information which you see here, exactly the same kind of information you would see in any of the data set when you click on India Data Portal. Because one of the things which we also want to promote is transparency in information sharing. Where are we getting the data from? When did we get the data? When was the data last updated at the original source? So we are putting it all across here quite in public domain. So you would see that the name of the data set is Agriculture Census 2015-16 crop. The domain is food and agriculture, domain meaning the sector. The granularity is at district level. This data is updated quinquennial. So that means once every 5 years. Then we also give you the option, when did we get the data? So we got the data in 2019-20, and data was last updated on the website of Ag Census, which is a government website, in 2015-16. And this gap is only because our portal was launched in January 2020. No portal existed before January 2020. And the name of the source is its Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. The Directorate of Economics and Statistics under the ministry provides this data. And in this data set, you would find the structure and characteristics of agricultural land holdings in India, cropping pattern of 253 crops. You would find information about whether what is the total area, what is the irrigated area or unirrigated area. You would find data on the social groups, which social group the farmers belong to, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes. What is the farmer size class, meaning are they large farmers, are they small farmers, marginal farmers? So you would get all of that information for 662 districts in India across 37 states and union territories of India. Then you can look at other tab also, which is about data variables, which is more helpful for researchers and policymakers. Then we have the data summary, where you will have numerical and categorical values. And then you have the option to view data. So you can view this data here, and this is alphabetical. And you can download this data from here up in Excel format if you would like, or up to 100 rows you can download here, or you can request us for full data. So that's essentially what you would get in any of the data sets when you come to India Data Portal. So any of these data sets, any subsections. Now let me show you by way of a very simple example how to create a visualization using data. I want to show you fertilizer sales in a particular state. So let's say if I type here fertilizer, and here you would see I have got two options. One is fertilizer sales and food and fertilizer subsidy. So here, if I remain here, you can see it gives me the option to visualize, view details, or view source. Since we have already done view details and view source in the agriculture census data, let me straight away take you to visualize. And here you would see that it gives me the option, my selection, which is fertilizer sales. In indicators, I select sale of fertilizers and I click on apply. In dimensions, I select all kinds of fertilizers. So, diammonium phosphate, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, potassium chloride, single superphosphate, urea. I select all kinds. You could select one, you could select more than one, in the sense you could select one or two if you wanted to compare. You could also segregate it by season. So Kharif season, Rabi season, all. In time period, this data is updated every year. So it's an annual data set. So the latest is 2021, 2022, and I do apply. Any suggestions in terms of which state I should pick? I want to pick one state. Do you want to suggest any state? Name of any state? Punjab? Okay, Ria, thank you. So let's select Punjab, and I go to add location, and I can either scroll down or I can type Punjab here. So let's say I select Punjab and I select all the districts of Punjab for this particular year. And in build, I click on build your chart. And because I want the sale of fertilizers in the state of Punjab district wise, I select district and I do visualize. You see a map of India appeared, and it zoomed in on the state of Punjab, where you can see district wise sale of fertilizers. Let's talk about what is available on this page. So here it says map sales of fertilizers, and there is a pen icon here. I click on it and I can completely edit the name here. Let's say I delete it and I say Punjab districts map sale of fertilizers. So here the name has changed. Plus minus, we know zoom in, zoom out. And the map, of course, when I hover my mouse, you can see the sale of fertilizers in various districts of Punjab in 2021-22. Then there is a scale here. Scale is red to green. The redder it is, the lower sale of fertilizers. The greener it is, the higher the sale of fertilizers in metric tons. So the redder seems to be Pathankot and the greenest seems to be Sangrur district. And rest you have other districts here like Sasnagar, which is Mohali. It also has lesser sale of fertilizers in 2021-22. And then you can see here at the bottom, you'll see it says source fertilizer sales, Directorate of Economics and Statistics, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, 2021-2022, and created from indiadataportal.com. So all the attributions are also mentioned here. Then on top here, if you see on the right top, here is this eye icon. Now this eye icon will give you the information of what does this visualization represent and what all can you do with it. So this visualization is about sale of fertilizer across different geographies. The colors shows from higher to lower. You can change the color. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can download it as high resolution image, or you could also share it on social media channels. The next is the settings button, which we all have on our devices, or the star button. If I click on it, then it gives me the option of a scale. So right now it's showing me a sale of fertilizers across all districts. If I change the scale here, then it will show me sale of fertilizers only in the district which are in that particular range I've selected. And I can also change the color. So different media houses have different color palettes. Or let's say if I don't like this color palette, I can change any color. Let's say I can pick purple, red, for example. And then you have the save button here. So you can download as SVG, PNG. You can download the full data from here. You can save it to My Graphics or you can save to Graphic Gallery. So let's say if I download this as PNG and I click on it, map opens. Now it's downloaded the map along with the scale and along with the attribution. The only thing is now that when I hover my mouse, I don't find information here simply because it has become a static image rather than a web-based map. And the last thing is sharing, which is you can directly from this page, you can directly share it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and WhatsApp, or you can also do copy shareable link. Now, the reason we ask you to do copy shareable link is simply because, once you download the image where it becomes static, if you also add the shareable link there. So anybody who is clicking on that link will come to this interactive platform, interactive page. And when they hover their mouse, they can see the values. That there are more than 45 kind of visualizations on indiadataportal.com. So this is the map here. The second option here on my left of the screen, if you would see, there is a bar plot. Now in this bar plot, you would see that, it gives Sangrur, Ludhiana, Bhatinda, Patiala, and Pathankot, like in that order. Now, whenever a bar plot appears, you get a couple of more features incorporated here. The first feature which I want to talk about is the sort feature. In the sort feature, you would see that this is currently on descending indicator value. So highest to lowest, but I can change it to ascending. I can change it to alphabetical order as well. So let's say if I do ascending order, you see Pathankot has come on top and Sangrur has gone at the bottom. So just the order has changed. Again, it's your choice. Then the other option is a donut chart. Then there is a lollipop chart. Then there is a radial bar plot. Then you have a radial plot. Then you have a pictograph. And then you have a circular bar chart. The thing about pictograph is that depending on the order you have chosen, whether alphabetical, whether on indicator value, descending or ascending, it'll only show you the top 5 values here. So if because this is highest to lowest, so Sangrur, Ludhiana, Bhatinda, Patiala, and Jalandhar. But if I sort it again, let's say to different side, it will show me Pathankot, Sasnagar, Nagar, Shahid Bhagat Singh Nagar, and Fatehgarh Sahib. So again, only the top 5 values depending on the order you have chosen. And all of these you can save, all of these you can share, all of these you can change the color. So let me take you to another data set, which is the Mission Antodaya data set. And Mission Antodaya data is a very, very interesting data set because it is a lot like the census data. In indicators, you would see that there are, it gives the total population, it gives male, female population. It talks about financial and communication infrastructure. So availability of banks, within what kilometer range the banks are available, availability of ATMs, availability of internet broadband services, availability of landline, availability of post offices. Now you can get this data at the village level across India. Then you have roads and transport. So pakka roads, kacha roads, van, auto, available, not available, community assets. What about rural electrification? So, availability of electricity for domestic use, availability of clean energy, LPG or biogas, availability of solar energy or usage of solar energy or wind energy. Then we have PDS, then you have markets and fairs, you have drinking water, rural housing, education, health and sanitation, animal husbandry, and agriculture. So these are various sectors. Now, let's say if I talk about, give you an example of under financial and communication infrastructure, I want to draw your attention to the health and sanitation sector. And the reason why I picked this sector up is because of COVID. So I want to look at the basic primary healthcare infrastructure availability in our country in rural India. So here in the health and sanitation sector, I pick PHC availability and I do apply. And in time period, this data is available only for 2019. So I pick 2019 and I do apply. And in this case, rather than focusing on one state, I want to check the number of primary healthcare centers across all states and union territories of India. So I pick all the states and union territories. I don't want to pick districts here at the moment. And I do apply. And in build your chart, because I want it at the state level, I pick state and I do visualize. Here you would see again a map of India has appeared, where you would see based on the scale, the Maharashtra has the highest number of villages with primary healthcare centers. So 4,727 villages. Then you have Karnataka, 4,224. You have Rajasthan with 4,270. You have Uttar Pradesh, 4,054. You have Bihar, 4,130. And if you look at smaller states, like if you look at Goa, only 35 villages have primary healthcare center or PHCs. Kerala has 772 villages with primary healthcare center available or PHC availability. If you look at, let's say, Haryana, 923, Uttarakhand, or Himachal Pradesh, all of this you would see are different, right? Let me show this to you by a lollipop, and let me also show you the values here, and I do apply. So you would see the top 4 states or top 5 states are Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh, where they have more than 4,000 villages with primary healthcare center facilities. Then you have the next 4, which is in the range of 2,000, which is Gujarat, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu, where you have primary healthcare centers in more than 2,000 villages. And then you have everything less than 2,000. And if you go down, Daman and Diu, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Andaman Nicobar Islands Daman and Diu has less than 10, and then in 20s, and then you figure it out in hundreds. Kerala is somewhere here at 772, and the topmost is Maharashtra. But if I take you back to the map, the states you have larger number of primary healthcare centers, they are big states, large states. I want to create my own indicator and find out the ratio, proportion of number of primary healthcare centers with the number of villages in the state or union territory. So in this case, I go back here again, where I had selected PHC availability, and I do create my own indicator. And this is a good, very unique feature of India Data Portal. So I want to see states, duties. And here I want to do PHC availability. And the moment I make my selection here, it will appear here, which says new indicators formula, and it will come here. And I want to divide it by the number of villages where the survey was completed. And because I want to find a percentage, I would multiply it by 100. So here you see it says PHC availability divided by number of villages where survey was completed under Mission Antodaya multiplied by 100. And I do create indicator. It says indicator created successfully and I say okay. And you can name anything here, right? Your indicator. And then I go back here and I deselect under health and sanitation, I deselect PHC availability. I select the indicator which I have made, which is states, union territories, PHC %, and I do apply. And my year is selected, my states and union territories are selected, so I don't need to select them again. State is selected here, and I do visualize. See the map of India, which was all very green and all the picture was very rosy, has completely changed into very, very red and orange and yellow. And the only place here you in green you see is Kerala with 48.4%. Maharashtra is 10.8%, Rajasthan 9.3%, and so on. Let me show this by lollipop and let me show values here. And if you see here, Kerala is leads now in terms of all states and union territories when it comes to the availability of primary healthcare center facilities, which is at 48.4%. Puducherry is 29.5, Dadra and Nagar Haveli is 22.9. And let's see where Maharashtra is. Maharashtra is somewhere here towards the bottom in the sense, I think 17th, 18th position with 10.8% coverage only. And the Uttar Pradesh, which was in top 5, is now in bottom 4 with just 3.9% coverage. Jharkhand is in the worst stage, which is 3.0%. And then you have Madhya Pradesh 3.5%. And what were the other bigger states? Karnataka is also somewhere here with 13.1%. So all of these big states, which were on top, have actually come here somewhere in the middle or towards the bottom. Rajasthan is step below Maharashtra, in this case 9.3%. Let me show you one last example. Basically, it has two parts on how the governments decide on their expenditure on various schemes. So we know that the budget was presented in February, earlier this year. So I want to take you to the budgets data. And let's say I want to see the expenditure on major schemes. And I mean, you will see all this information here again. Then I do visualize. I will go straight to visualize. What I want to do is, if I talk about COVID again, we know that Manrega played a very, very important role when a lot of these labor workforce went back to the villages. How the expenditure on Manrega has changed over the years. So I clicked on union budget, then I clicked on outlay on major schemes. Now in indicators, I want to see the expenditure and I select apply. Then on dimensions, so I click on the core of the core schemes. I click on Manrega and I click on apply. In time period, I select all the years. This data is available till 2023, and 2023 is what the government has forecasted that it will spend under Manrega. So, it's allocated this money, but till 2022, all has been spent. So I do apply. And build your chart. I select scheme name because I want to see data by scheme. So I visualize. And here you would see, let me change the color. A multi-line chart has appeared where you would see it says, this side is the expenditure in crore rupees, this side is the year. And you can see how the, the values have changed, expenditure has changed. The next option here you will get is a stacked bar plot. Again, year-wise expenditure under Manrega in 1,000 crore rupees. Then here you would see a grouped bar plot, and then here you would see a box plot. Now, again, depending on the choices I made here, India Data Portal has given me the options of visualization. So let's see if I stick to grouped bar plot. Then you would see in 2015-16, the government spent 37,000 crore rupees under Manrega. Then in 16-17, it was 48,000 crore rupees. In 17-18, 55,000 crore rupees, and 18-19, 61,000. And in 2019-20, which was a year before COVID, 71,000 crore rupees. In the year of the COVID, in 2020-21, the government spent more than 100,000 crore rupees on Manrega. And then last year, budget, it was brought down to 98,000 crore rupees. And this year, government has allocated 73,000 crore rupees towards Manrega. What I want to do to show you was how the demand for employment also changed under Manrega. So let me take you to this India Pulse at ISB initiative, and I will open it a new window. And here automatically it opens in company registrations and industry trade. So different sections, all of these plus signs, you can keep drilling down further and further so you can get more information. But let me take you to employment. And let me take you to Manrega and demand by persons of jobs under Manrega. Here on this page, before I take you to the graph, you will see that the option here is India, state, and then district. So if I select state, a particular state, I can also select district-wise demand for Manrega or district-wise any of this information. So let me stick to the state, India, because I'm looking at the total allocation of money for Manrega scheme across India. So let me stick to India here. You would see I get a map and I also get a frequency chart here. Here you would see there is time selected and last year. So yeah, there are one dotted line and one bold line. Let me remove last year. So the dotted line gets removed. Here I can see range in months. So it's 369 or selected range. Let me expand this slider both ways. So you have information from January 2020, demand for jobs under Manrega by people from January 2020, which was just before COVID. And this is till March 2022, now that the situation is becoming almost normal. And here you would see that it says source at Ministry of Rural Development, created from indiadataportal.com. If you look at the frequency graph, here you would see that, in January, the demand was about 25 million. Then when it slightly went up to 29.5 million, and when complete lockdown happened, it went down to 20 million. And then it rose quite sharply to about 63.5 million when there was a complete lockdown. By this time, majority of the labor force had moved back to the villages. And then it kept in the higher range, 30 millions and all of that. And again, during second wave, it slightly went down because lockdown had eased and people had started coming back to cities. But it rose again during the second wave when it became to 50.5 million people who demanded jobs under Manrega. And now, as the situation has, vaccinations have happened, there is no lockdown or any kind of curbs are there, except that you have to follow COVID protocols. The demand has come down and demand is almost 27.6 million, which is almost similar to the demand by the number of people in pre-COVID era. And that's how, if you compare here, the government spent maximum during when the demand was highest, and now that the demand is slightly coming down, the government has also lessened their expenditure. And if I take you back to India Pulse, you can also share this graph on social media channels. You can do copy shareable link. The eye icon will tell you what this means. The three lines here, you can view data, you can download data, you can download image. So that's in a way, in a nutshell, what I wanted to show to you about India Data Portal in terms of three different examples. Switch on your cameras, please, so that I can do a group photograph.